Right, good afternoon everyone. Not achieved much today, but we have the rear quarter panel that I ordered weeks ago, and Parcel Force kept saying they were delivering it. The reason they didn't deliver it is because it had sharp edges, and the guy who wrapped it up and they picked it up of said they should have wrapped it up better, but obviously they took it, didn't they? So I've now been waiting 2 weeks for a 48-hour delivery just because they didn't tell me, oh, that's sitting in the depot in Norwich. So Parcel Force are total shit. Why didn't they just say? Anyway, let's take a look. You can see here we've got a little bit of oxidisation, but nothing as bad as what my other rear quarter panel is. So I'm really pleased with this. That's in good quality. And obviously on my quarter panel at home, as you know, that had holes in the back of the tub there where someone had drilled them through. Oh no, it's got a bit of a dent there. I can't remember having a dent like that in it. I don't think I should have had a dent like that. Not on the internet anyway. Yeah, that did have this bit on the original listing. That's quite bad really. It's obviously maybe the rear tub fell off. But you can see they're painted in here. See, that used to be yellow obviously. But this is better than my one, so I'm pleased with it. So just got to be painted up. So I got the swivel ends painted up, top coated. I might give them another coat of top coat. Try and get them put on. We need to, get these axles back together. These ones have had their top coat and they're ready for putting the bearings in and putting the brake disc on. So we're slowly getting there. The Landrover's coming on. Just waiting for the chassis to turn up, and then we can start removing the engine and take this front bulkhead off and the bits off. I'd still need to order a few seals and things. I've ordered a lot of stuff from YRM Metals. I got the stainless steel hinges and that for them, so maybe I can go through that when I get the delivery. So these are the bits from JSF. We've got all new shock absorbers, new calipers, brake pads, gaskets, wheel bearings, seals, everything for the axles basically. Right, let's get these wheel bearings in. We've got some good grease, high temperature grease, slightly better. As long as it's EP something, I can't remember what, that'll be alright. Lithium grease, lithium oil. Thinking about batteries. So each wheel bearing go in that way round, so the inner thing is thick side to the back, like so. And obviously we've got to push that back in. The other thing is, you need to mark what bearing goes with that sleeve. So we'll put this back in the box, and this is called the outer bearing. The outer bearing, because there's the wheel nuts. So this big end to the back, the spacer will drop through the hole, so you don't have to worry about the spacer. I'll just show you anyway. So you have to put this spacer back in the middle of the bearings. That'll only fit on, you know, the bearings itself will only fit on that, you see. So you don't have to worry about putting it in now. You see if we can knock it in with this bearing thing. We have seen people just knock them in with punches, but I don't want to damage it or anything, so we want a nice smooth fit. That will be tight. Obviously make sure that everything is nice and clean. I might just clean that a bit better. I'm just using this little terminal driver just to go around the corner, not scoring anything, just getting the dirt out. We're just checking. I mean, that looks alright in there. You obviously can't see. So we're just checking that it's all nice, which it is. You don't want no dirt in there. And just try and make it go in nice and square. There we have it. There's one bearing in. One bearing race. Turn it over. Same again, make sure it's clean. Just use my little screwdriver to get the dirt out of the little corners. And again, the bearing faces inwards. So again, the bearing faces that way, so they both face inwards. Just a little bit of grease left in the corner. I just want to take it all out. Just keep trying to knock it in nice and square. You might see it go one side a little bit more than the other, but that'll be okay. So you can correct it. You'll see them lovely in there. You just see the little ridge of them. And your bearing will drop in like that. Leave aside. This side will have the oil seal, you see. So we need to clean that up as well. Should mark the bearing up again. We've already marked one up, so that'll be okay. And what we'll see, we'll get an oil seal. So the oil seal so fit to a depth of 4 millimeters this way to the stub axle. So this is the back of this hub. So this will be bolted on there. This will bolt on there. So they're saying there, this way to the stub axle. So it obviously goes in that way round. And I just wanted to get it out to see if a bearing will drop through the middle. No, bearing won't drop through the middle. So we'll grease the bearing up. We'll put the bearing in first, and then we'll put that in. And this is some high temperature grease, still lithium grease, still okay to use, but that is red grease. The other grease I had was blue, EP whatever. But this is a good grease as well. This is what we're going to use. See, it's red. Come in all different colours actually, I don't know why. We're just going to make sure the bearing's got plenty of grease on it. It's going to be there for a long time. Drop that in there. Wipe our hands. And then we should be able to put this in. So this is on the hub seal that way, so I'll show you actually. So that'll fit the hub seal that way, look. And you can see that makes sense when you look at it there. That makes sense because that seal is there. You like that, you see. And you should also be checking that there's no burrs or nothing on them. So we'll knock this in. We can knock this in the same way. I'll take this off. We need to screw that on. So that goes this way round. I think probably the best way to do that is even with one of these or an old seal, because I don't know if that's going to scrub up them ones, you see. So we might get an old seal to put on that. So what I'm going to do here is put this old seal back on that one, because that will protect it. And I think I'll use a slightly bigger one of them. And then we'll just give it a gentle tap. You don't need much. Yeah, just check it all the way around. You might have to give it a bit of a tap on one side more than the other. You can see it's going down, but it's got to be down 4mm down. So we'll keep going. Yeah, pull that out and you can see there's 4mm down there. Just show you. So that's ready to go. But what you have got to be now careful of, we're putting the bearing in that side, we have to put the spacer in, because you're reusing this spacer. So make sure you get the right one, so that spacer will just go back in there. I'm going to put some grease around it. Chuck that in there. And then we can get our other bearing that we labelled up outside. Get some more of our lovely grease. Jam that in there. We're going to fit the brake disc onto there. Find the torque settings. So first thing to do, I've got a little bit of paint on here where I painted these, so we're just going to scrape that off. We'll give them a little bit of a sandpaper as well. And what I am going to do, just apply a little tiny bit of grease, just to prevent hopefully stop rust from building up. I'll pop that on there. We've got our Loctite and our bolts to go back in there, and obviously you probably want to sit this inside a wheel again so you can torque it up better, because that will have to, you have to pull it down a bit. You can push that on, you see. We'll just find out the torque settings. So we've got the torque settings. You can see there, brake disc to hub 73 Newton meters. So that's what we'll do it to. Right, so we've got our torque wrench set up, 70. So don't push it on too much. And then get your bolt. Get them bolts started before you push the disc right on. This should be working now. Yeah. Well, that pushing it out there. Look. Learn something every day. I got new caliper bolts, but I didn't get new for these bolts. I think you can reuse them. There's no reason why not. They obviously don't come off that much. Don't change discs that regularly. They should do 100,000 miles or more. Let's give them a bit of a clean. That one's a bit dirty. Okay. Just get them started. Make sure they're started. I'm not screwing them all the way down. The idea is not to pull the disc down. I don't think. I suppose you could pull the disc down onto it if you go gently enough. Just going to get a normal ratchet. So round one, so obviously got this, pull this down, not as well, you got your force and everything. Just slide on through. Okay, got that nice and reasonably tight. Now we're just going to take these nuts off. So there's our wheel all set up. Got that in there. Just make sure they're quite tight already. Keep going diagonally. Oh, that's nice and tight now anyway. Double check the torque wrench is set correctly. There we go. Go diagonally. Now just check them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as they're lined up in there, we can fit them onto this stub axle. Maybe that was a stupid idea. There we go. So maybe it's best to put the spacer and the second bearing in afterwards. And put some more grease in there. Bearing to make sure that take it inside. It's a messy job. Alright. And we're going to put these bits back together. Now, let's clean it up first. Put that on there. Then we've got to put our hub nut on. Make sure you put it on the right way round, I mean. And the idea what TD5 Landrover say with this is that you torque it to 30 Newton meters while you're spinning it. Small torque wrench ready, set at 30 Newton meters. So while spinning the hub, I tell you, that's the first. That's to seat the bearings. You just check it again. 30 Newton meters to seat the bearings, and then 210. And that is all you have to do. I haven't cleaned the disc up because I'm not going to put the caliper on yet, and because I don't know how long the build is going to take, I figured that's better to leave them a bit oily so they don't rust. Well, thanks for watching that. That's the best way I can make a video and explain how you put the bearings in and everything else. Probably be better off putting the disc in first, or the disc on before you put all the bearings in, obviously, as we found out. And don't put the front bearing in or the sleeve until you've got the actual hub on. But these are things we learn on the way. So I'm going to carry on and do the other one, and then I'll get back to you when we start doing the swivels, because they're a little bit more difficult, and we'll go through that. So we torqued the bearings initially to 30 to set them, spun them, then I torqued to 100, and then I torqued up to 210 and knocked this over. But we have got a little bit of a crack there, so maybe I should have bought new ones, but I'm sure that will be alright. You just put a bit of gasket seal on this, clean them up, stick that on there, and we're done. Well, something else to remember, to clean these surfaces up before you put it all together. That is something I forgot to do, but I'm going to use this little plastic bag just to stop any dirt getting into the bearings. So that was a bit of a mistake really, but you live and learn. So that's the rear hub, rear axle all completed, apart from the calipers and the dust guards, which will go on when I got it together. I'll just give these swivel houses another coat of paint so we can fit them tomorrow. Right, another day done. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe.